Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. At least a little bit better than I am. I'm not that bad off. It could be a much worse situation. Yeah, unfortunately, I've been up most of the night fighting low sugars. Yeah, lots of fun. Started my period finally yesterday, and along with it, sugar drops. Oh my gosh, yeah, lots of fun. And it doesn't surprise me because throughout the whole time I've been PMSing, I've been dealing with a lot of high sugars to the point where I've been having to take extra insulin. Even if I tell you, was taking extra insulin, when I was taking my insulin, I was having to chase back behind would take a little bit extra. So yeah, it's been one of those periods. It's either I either deal with it that way, or I'm constantly chasing lows, and then I go high when I start my period. There's no rhyme or reason about it. So I just have learned best thing to do, go with the flow. So literally, it hit me when I said it. So here I am, and actually I'm chasing a low right now. I was woken up about a couple hours after I went to bed, something like that. I had a low just before I went to bed. So I figured, well, Rick, he had to run down to the store. When he was down there, he had seen that I was out of my lemonade and some bananas to help with my leg cramps. And I think, to tell you the truth, I think it wasn't just, I was kind of half asleep when the first one hit me the night before. So I think it actually was both a leg cramp and a foot cramp, because my other foot, aside from the ones that I knew I had gotten it, I was actually having a little bit of difficulties in both of the arches of my feet yesterday. So, yeah, I think it was, it hit both my leg and my foot with that first time, and then the second time, I know it definitely hit both. So, anyway, so yeah, when he was down at the store, he picked me up a big thing of lemonade, the lemonade that I like, and also some organic bananas for me. So when I had that low, and it was just before I was going to see about taking my long-lasting insulin anyway, and I usually like to eat something to help drive up my sugars so I'm not dropping so bad overnight. And both of those can have a tendency to up my sugars anyway. So I figure, okay, kill two birds with one stone. Have those, and also help with, with getting potassium into me to help with the leg and foot cramps, the aftermath of those I've been dealing with all day. So I'm like, okay. And then I also had a couple of Oreo cookies. I figured, help drive it up a little bit more. Well, guess what? I wound up bottoming out anyway. And then, so I had a Nutty Buddy bar, just the one, because I didn't want to drive myself up a whole lot. Well, I guess it wasn't enough. A couple hours later, I got woken up by my glucometer alarm yelling at me that I was having a low sugar. I'm like, well, I just had that, so it should kick in. Well, I felt myself sinking. So I took a look at the time with when it happened before. I'm like, oh, that was 2 hours ago. Okay. Because you know how it is when you're half asleep, you're not paying attention to times or whatever. So I went ahead and had the other one. Well, I'm feeling myself sinking even that much more. Let me take my sugar. Sure enough, it's been a good 20 minutes. And I'm way down in the low 60s at this point. I don't remember what it was. Like, all right, let me break out another one. I had another one. Now I can't go back to sleep. Toss and turn, toss and turn. Or I was uncomfortable. I was trying, for whatever reason, I don't know, ever since I've had those breathing difficulties, anytime I try and lay on my left side, I feel like I can't breathe. It's like everything sinks to that side, settles onto that side, and I just can't breathe. I don't know what it is. But anytime I was laying on my right side, and I like laying on my sides when I sleep, I sleep better. But anytime, and typically throughout my life, I've slept on my right side. But anytime I was trying to do that, after that, I just kept feeling like my sensor, which is on my right arm now, just kept feeling like it was digging into my arm. And I'm like, okay, I can't win. So I was doing a lot of tossing and turning with that. And I can't fall asleep on my back and forget about my stomach. It ain't happening. Then monkey brain was kind of kicking in a little bit too, and then cramps in my abdomen, so I got up, took some ibuprofen to help with that. Yeah, that helped with that, but I still couldn't fall back to sleep, and I was back and forth and this and that, and I was just like, finally I fell back to sleep, and then I woke up. It's like 8:30. We had agreed to see about leaving this morning about 9:30, but he's still asleep down there, and I'm having a low, and oh boy, I don't know if it would be a good idea for me to try and go out to do the shoe shopping and other shopping or not, especially with being so far away from home, or we don't have a very big window. That's the problem, because of their son gets home, I think it's just before 3, and an adult has to be here with him, and unfortunately their daughter doesn't get home until after he does. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. And Angie's working today, and she may get off at 5. She may not get off until 6. And either way, she's been working all day, so yeah. And then run me out to go shoe shopping or whatever, yeah. I don't know. The good thing that happened is I got paid last night. I actually got paid a little bit early, and I got my book ordered, so that'll come on Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's been a rough night, huh? And this one here, poor little lady, she's been having to go through it with me. Yeah, but she's done a good job helping Mommy. Yes, she has. Yeah, she always does a good job at helping her Mommy. Yeah, helping Mommy stay awake so she doesn't fall into a coma. Yeah, keep it going. Yeah, actually, I forgot to tell you all yesterday, the night before, another reason why I didn't get much sleep the night before is this one. She's like, what? What'd I do? She wound up at one point overnight, she got the zoomies. So she was running around in circles around the room. That's okay, we don't mind. Yeah. It was so nice out on the night before. We were able to have both the windows open all night, and that made her all nice and hyper, and yeah, she was so cute. I loved it. I didn't mind it in the least. Wasn't as warm last night. Had to close the one window, had the other window closed a little bit for a while, and then when it get, that's right too, with the second time that I was woken up by low sugar, woke up covered in sweat, head to toe. It was like, oh my gosh, I've been sweating like crazy. I'm seriously thinking about going back on the estrogen to try and help with everything. Yeah, so when I was trying to fall back to sleep, I shut the space heater off, and but kept the heating blanket going because of my legs, and of course my wonderful cramps, and opened up the window. It's a little chilly this morning. Yeah, a little bit chilly. Silly girl. Yeah. But need to see about running and getting food, getting just about everything. I got food for her, so she's good to go for at least 4 days. So, well, 5 days if you count today, which I need to get. So, but anyway, it's just Mom and going and getting a comfortable pair of frickin' shoes. Don't get me wrong, I love my hiking boots, but that's what they're there for, hiking, not I need something with some cushion. So, anywho, did my calls yesterday. That wound up being a kind of a big ordeal. Lots of fun. I expected to, get the usual pushbacks of, oh, you need a referral first, this or that. There was one, though. Actually, there was a couple of things that happened. One of them is quite laughable. The first one that I had called, that I had my fingers crossed with being able to get into, I figured that probably, that the appointments might be a little bit far out or something with being a new patient, but it wasn't too bad with the possible appointment. But they had this policy where in order to get them, you had to send off, you had to get in contact with your old doctor first and then have them send over your records. Okay, no problem. Well, then I called them, they sent me the paperwork, and they're requiring that I have to pay for all the paperwork first. I'm like, before they'll send it out. Okay. And then with the paperwork I had to fill out, there was information that I needed from the new doctor's office, so I'm calling them, and they're giving me a runaround. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. You are the ones who are requiring this, which is bullshit, because usually when you go to see a new doctor, it's you all who coordinates with the old doctor to see about getting those records. That's the way it's always been throughout my whole life. But I kept getting this recording, basically. Only it was a live person that I was talking to, but it was like talking to a recording, One of those sorts of people who's been so indoctrinated that they can't think for themselves. So that was a lot of fun. Finally, I got fed up and hung up. I'm like, I'm done. And it didn't help with the situation either that they also, I had called and spoken with the primary care division and made an appointment, but that wasn't until July. Well, I don't see any records over there. Oh, gosh. But you're in the system, but I don't see any records. As I've already told you. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I really didn't care for the system that they had set up where it's like, okay, they can't transfer you over to the other divisions even. You have to actually hang up, call back, and that was a thing too. Okay, they have a prompt for you to be able to get to go over to the primary care, but when it comes to the endocrinology division, you have to go through all the prompts first, but then you get transferred to the central operator, and then they transfer you. I'm like, this is bullshit. It's like, no, it's not worth it to me. So I'm like, so I wound up canceling the primary appointment. It wasn't until July anyway, so I'm like, fuck it. So, and then, of course, I got the thing with, needing the referral. There was one that I had called. I think it may have been, they also required a referral. They were telling me as far as initial consultation that they didn't have appointments until the end of the year, beginning of next year. And and I'm like, what? And she's just like, yeah, because there's a nationwide shortage of endocrinologists and this, that. I'm like, I told her right out, you're full of shit. I've been calling other places right here who have appointments next month, and I can even go back home and go see a new endocrinologist if I want to. So you're full of shit, and hung up. I'm like, that's bullshit. Yeah, that made absolutely no sense. So, I mean, it's bad enough that with having an endocrinologist office requiring a referral. And we're talking endo. We're not talking, okay, somebody who is possibly have cancer, possibly have a heart condition or whatever, and or at least it's showing up thing. So there, you know, it would be a good idea to have a referral from your primary. We're talking diabetes, okay? Give me a break, whatever. So anyway, you should be able to just go right in to an endocrinologist. I mean, it isn't something where, oh, you know, you had cancer, now it's in remission or something, and then you're, I suspect, you know, or whatever. It's like, it doesn't happen with diabetes. So, or at least type 1 anyway. But it's like they treat you like you don't know, like you're like you just became a diabetic, and it's like, no, I've been diabetic for years, okay? I know if I have diabetes or not. Oh, are you sure about that? Yeah, I tested positive for the antibody, you dumb shit. Click. Don't give me that bullshit. I don't put up with people. I'm sorry. That's one of the reasons why I don't trust people. So, anyway, finally I hit on the right one. I had gone through my list that I had done up down there or whatever, more or less. I was trying to stay more away from the cities or what have you, and wound up not calling those. But what was interesting is I wound up calling actually the one that was very first on the list, but it was a good 30 to 40 minute drive out there. Rick, he's seen that I was all the issues I was having. He's like, give him a call. We'll figure it out. I give him a call, kind of find out they did have locations that were closer. Just that particular doctor is out there or whatever, and it wound up being the one location in St. Paul that I was trying to, but they were wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, I called, and she was trying to make an appointment for basically that location. I'm like, I don't remember how it came up. She said something that triggered me, and I was just like, hey, do you have locations? I'm actually here, and do you have locations that are closer? And she's like, we sure do. I'm like, oh, okay. And so she starts, and she's like, you know, rattling off places. I'm like, I'm going to be honest, I'm completely new to this area. I have no idea where any of these places are at. She's like, well, let me help you out. So that's how she winds up pulling up St. Paul. She's like, does that sound good? I'm like, well, let me double check with my friends who are giving me the ride. So I went downstairs and talked to Rick, and had him on speaker. I know I got a little icky there, but that's okay. I'll get it later. It's just irritating. But anyway, went downstairs, had him on speaker, and he's like, nope, that sounds great. I know exactly where the facility is at. And I'm like, okay. So, had made that appointment. Of course, he doesn't have his schedule yet, but Angie's schedule was up, and I was able to work with what schedule I already have with making that appointment. And then as far as the primary, she was able to just take care of that right over the phone with me. I didn't have to transfer to another division or anything. She was able to take care of all of it. because I asked her, do you have primaries? And she's like, we sure do. And she asked me if there's, what everything that I'm dealing with and so forth, so that way she could try and help match me with a doctor who's familiar and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, so here we go. Let's, and I was able to get an appointment the following week, but I didn't have my schedule yet for that week. So after I got off the phone with her, I immediately called work, and she wasn't available. So I called. So I left a voice message with her, and I've figured I'll follow up with her for when she's going to be making up that schedule, because it's that following week that I don't have, that's good. She hasn't. She may be in in other words, she may be in the process of working up that schedule right now. So I needed to make sure that, because it's that close. It's like the previous week I had, and then the following week it hasn't been posted yet. So I want to make sure that I get followed up with her as quickly as possible to make sure that it's, yeah. So, anywho. Alright, so then right after that, I'm like, okay, well, I'm making my calls. I need to call the insurance to find out about this 20% co-insurance thing. What's going on with that, especially after everything that happened with the chiropractor the previous week. Alright, so got off the phone with them, and, got everything straight and so forth, and called the co-insurance, and spoke with a different rep, of course. And she's telling me the same identical thing as what the other person did. And I explained to her, what happened and so forth. She's like, unfortunately, with ones like the chiropractic offices, we get this all the time. So the next time you go see a chiropractor, or next time you go and see them, give them this reference number. I'm like, well, I am not going to go back to see them, because if they can't get this straight, are they going to fuck up my back because they can't get something like this, something as simple as this straight? What are they going to wind up doing? Fucking up my back too in the process? I don't think so. I'm not going back to see them. She's like, she just died laughing. She's like, yeah, I see your point. I wouldn't go back to them either. But she's like, no, if you need to go and see another chiropractor, then just give at least give them this reference number, and then they'll be more likely to just do that 20%. Because by right, she's like, you should only be paying about $20 to $40 to go see a chiropractor. I'm like, that's what I was told before when I was making the appointment. Not $100 and some odd dollars, which is basically full payment. Basically what it boiled down to, they didn't want to have to deal with the paperwork. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care to go see you if you're going to be like that. Because if you're going to be that lazy, like I said, are you going to be lazy with my care as well? And then I'm winding up in worse issues? I don't think so. Not happening. So, but anywho. And they're not busy. I'm sorry. They are not busy. So, anywho. So, I also explained to her that I was concerned, with that 20% thing with the situation, because that's what I have to pay for my sensors. And I don't need them right now, but I need to get the ball rolling with getting them transferred over, finding out pricing from different places, so on and so forth. So, anywho, I called a different pharmacy initially to see if I could get, like maybe some sort of a price code or whatever. But of course, they can't do anything without the prescription and then running it. But I was like, it's supposed to be 20% of the cash price. So can you at least give me the cash price to kind of give me, so I can do kind of like a ballpark. She's like, yeah, that makes sense. So she gave it to me, and I'm like, that's very interesting. So I'm like, I might wind up switching it, but I'm trying to find out from where I have it right now, because I've been using that voucher from Abbott to get a discount on my sensors to keep those going. And I was asking her about that, what sort of, experience that she's had with those. She's like, yeah, it just really depends on the voucher that you have and everything. If whether or not we could do price comparison that way or whatever. So without transferring the prescription over first. So, but anyway, I called my current pharmacy, and the person I spoke with, she wasn't knowledgeable at all. She was brand new. I could definitely tell that because I didn't recognize her at all. And unfortunately, she was just like, yeah, we need the actual physical card and all this sort of crap. I'm like, all right, fine. So I truck on over there, and yeah, my leg was hurting. The worst one. My worst leg and foot. They were hurting, but I'm like, I went over there anyway. Gave the info, and the tech who knows me, he's just like, yeah, no, it should be the prescription card. I'm like, nope. I went through all of this with the insurance companies, with both of the companies, the prescription providing company and the medical insurance. They said that because the employer considers it to be a medical supply, so it has to be ran through the insurance, or the medical insurance. He's like, okay. So he's trying to find it in the system even. He can't even find it in the system. So he took down the information off the back of my card, tried giving him a call, but it was after business hours for them. So he has to try and see about calling today. So we'll see what they come back with for all of that. Or possibly I'm going to be given a runaround. But I might be switching. We'll see. It would be nice if I could keep it over here, so I can just walk over there. But the other one that I had called is right there over by where I work, so it's not too bad. It would be a little bit more of a hike, but it's not too bad. So I could, like be dropped off there before work one day, and then just walk over to work afterwards. So, interesting day yesterday. But it was beautiful. Aside from all of that, it was a very beautiful day. Had both the windows open, beautiful bright blue sunny skies, a little bit of clouds, wispy clouds, here and there, whatever. Today, it's a gray day. We got more storms coming in this afternoon. So another reason why I would really like to be able to go beforehand. But yeah, we were coordinating everything last night to see about with the places that I need to hit up this morning. But we were going to see about, because unfortunately most of the places don't open until 10. PetSmart opens at 9. So that's why we were thinking by time leave at about 9:30. By the time we get over there, hit PetSmart first, and by the time everything's said and done with there, the other places would be open. Like DSW, I want to be able to hit them up first. Know how much I'm going to be spending there. There is one other place that I really want to go to. It's a World Market. There's a big mixing bowl there. Decorative one. I've had my eye on since I got here, basically. And she took me, it's right there, right next door to Whole Foods. And Angie and I had stopped off. The second day I was here, or second night that I was here, anyway, we went to, the second night or, yeah, second night, we went to Whole Foods, so I could at least get some shampoo. I've been kind of using that, doubling as body wash until I can, because I can only use a certain brand or certain one now because of all my skin sensitivities and everything. So, and I either have to order it or get it at Whole Foods. Out there, I could also get it at Sprouts, but they don't have Sprouts here. And I don't know about any other sort of nutrition store. So anyway, I've been using that. Fortunately, they're big bottles, which last me for a while. So, but anywho, and I need to go there because of that, because I'm running low. So anyway, we had also stopped off at World Market, and I had seen this big mixing bowl, and I'm like, I've had my eye on it ever since, but at the time I couldn't see spending $50 for it. But I want to see about getting that. Especially, I seen up online they only have 4 left in the store, and I'm like, ugh. And I did, there's this little promo they're doing with Spin a Wheel, find out how much discount you can do. And I'll also be able to get it at a little bit of a discount too. So I want to go back and get that. Yeah, I really do. Start working towards getting my own place, basically. Or I guess I should say our own place. Yeah. So that would be really, really cool. And yeah, it does remind me of it's a big yellow bowl that has beads on it, and around the rim it's a honeycomb. And yeah, it does remind me of my grandmother's big yellow bowl I had to leave behind. I wasn't too sure if it was the same size as that one, if they were both the same size, basically. So I did a search on that bowl to find out what the volume is on it. Same volume. Actually, this one I think it's a little bit showing a little bit more. So I'm like, okay, it should be fine, because it was my mom kind of swiped it from her mother. I don't know if she swiped it or it was given to her. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I know there was a few things that my mom swiped. So anyway, my mom used it for her bread, and I pretty much used the same recipe as she did. Makes 2 loaves. So, but when I had seen it initially, this new one, I'm like, I don't know if it's the same size or not, but it is. Actually, it's a little bit more, so it'll hold all that dough. So, yay! I can start making bread, homemade bread again. Looking forward to that. I just need the bread pans. And I like the glass ones. I know I had to leave all that stuff behind. I was starting to accumulate all that. Now I'm having to start over, but oh well, it is what it is. So, but yeah. Finished up with the Matlocks, and of course, cliffhanger, which I knew. Ending the way I expected it to, but in some ways. I didn't expect in one way, but that's okay. Something to look forward to. So we've got that to look forward to. I've been seeing advertisements for Star Trek Strange New Worlds coming out this summer, so that'll be awesome. And I know they're towards the end of wrapping up production with Mayor of Kingstown, so we'll have that. I believe I read that that's next fall. Also Tulsa King, I'm a big fan of that show as well. I've seen that there's a new episode of Mobland. Not too sure if I'm into it or not, but I'll watch the next episode and see. And I know that we're coming up there towards the end with wrapping up with Ghosts, so that we should be coming up with one of their season finales here soon. So, yeah, I know. At least we got something to look forward to, so of course I'm looking for something to watch. I know, I'm starting to sound like I'm a big TV bug or something, but that's alright. So, but yeah, that's pretty much everything I got going on right now, I think. So, but anywho, this little one is doing good. I took her outside. Of course, I didn't let her run around. That would require me having to put her harness on and so forth. And when we came back in, I set her down. She was she's like, no, Mommy, I don't want to go out. And it's like, well, get little bit more fresh air, see it. And so her eyes were as big as saucers, and she's you know, I could definitely see that her anxieties were kicking in. I could feel it, and she just could not wait to get back in the room. I got the door open, and yeah, she was practically flying out of my arms. And I was like, oh, it's like, oh, she looks up at me. Oh, thank you, Mommy. It's like, well, and her harness was sitting right there, and I took it out, and I was just like, what? Should we put this on? And choom, she takes off running. She's like, oh, hell no. So, poor little baby. She got tortured a little bit yesterday, but she's fine. Yeah, she's perfectly fine. So, if anything, she's curled up. I don't know. Try and turn her around. There she is. It's like, get that thing out of my face. You know, I don't know if you all could see her now. Her tail's kind of flopping up and down too. So, and I don't watch any of these videos after everything's said and done. So I just do them, upload them, and do the descriptor and title and post it to my blog after it's uploaded, and that's it. So, it's 9:37, so better get moving. I think my sugar's okay now. I feel my head's clearing up, so I'll run it after I'm done here. So, anyway, hopefully we'll be able to get moving. Oh, excuse me. So, and hopefully it won't take that long at DSW. It's going to be a big issue, but he also has high arches, so he gets it with what I'm going through. So, I know in so many ways him and I are cut from the same cloth. It's really weird, but it's okay. It's more like long lost siblings. The sort of relationship that we have. It's really, really weird, you know. Whereas like because we are so very similar, and we loved bantering off of each other, you know, teasing each other and so forth. But yeah, it's like long lost siblings is what it's like. It's just fun, you know. It's nice having somebody around that I can bounce this, or I can bounce off of like that. And we know when it to be serious, and so with each other and so forth. And we do, you know, take care of each other, and you know, when we're having issues or what have you, we're mindful of all of that. But you know, we know when it's time to joke around and so forth, and when it's, you know, time to be serious or whatever. So, but it's just fun, you know. It's nice having somebody around that I can do that. It's been a long time, and I love it. So, yeah, so, I don't remember what else I was going to say. It was something to do with Angie. Angie and I, you know, her and I, we've been friends for like 35 years, something like that. So, and her and I are like opposites. I know, it's really weird. So, I had to say we are definitely on polar opposites when it comes to our spiritual beliefs. Most definitely. It's like, but you know, there's respect there. You know, that's the thing, is that there's respect. You know, so, and it's always been that way. With the two of us, you know, we know how each other are, and so. And it's interesting that she wound up marrying somebody who's a lot like me. And it's like she told me she's the one who actually asked him. Like, okay, I'm glad to see that a part of me rubbed off onto you. Actually, she dyed her hair. She's blonde, but she's been getting a lot of gray, and she dyed her hair. She did it once before, and I was just like, but I didn't see it. Brick had told me about it. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know she had it in her. He's like, yep, she did. And it's like, okay, well, she just did it again here recently. My understanding, same color, blue, basically, cyan. It's like, okay, I like it. It actually looks nice on her. It's like, okay. So, it's like, okay. I guess it was something that her and her sister had done at the first time. it was her, her sister, and their mom. They all did it. And this time it was her and her daughter. So I think that's awesome. I think it's really awesome. So, relax. Let your colors come out a little bit. Let your personality come out. So, anywho, I know. And then I run around with all my grays. I'm proud of my grays. Bad, it shows. These are my stripes. Instead of having actual chevrons. These are my chevrons. So, I'm proud of them. I swore I would never dye my hair, and I won't. So, anywho, I better go. I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Gotta get her some food before we go. Love you.